Hey you guys, it's MJ from Out to Love. How are you? I have been sitting with some pretty profound insights of late around presence and wholeness and expansion. And this is off the back of watching a video with TEAL SWAN and her distinguishing her mission is like wholeness, to teach wholeness and oneness, and then her explaining in this interview about Abraham Hicks teaching expansion and just expansion, so that Abraham as a being, their agenda through Esther is like helping humanity expand, helping humanity access greater aspects of themselves to become more powerful, conscious creators. So we're more aware of what we're creating, right? And then I was sitting with it, and this is obviously all around, law of attraction teachings, and how do we become more accurate, or better manifestors, and how can we not blame ourselves? And it's kind of like the rabbit hole of law of attraction, or the secret, when we suddenly like come across these teachings and we're like, what? So I just stay positive and happy things come. And then it's almost like just this massive journey that we go on once we awaken to these deeper teachings, and we invest and we commit to becoming that creator, right? And so in my awareness, or just simply in my intuitive understanding, recognition is ultimately it's all the same teaching. It's like wholeness is expansion, because in order to become whole, one must expand the self awareness, right? And integrate the fragmented parts of ourselves. So if you think presence is our ability to be fully here now, embodied in mind, then the other, which is not presence, is when our mind is thinking about this story and thinking about that story and thinking about the thing that happened then and the thing that's going to happen now and the thing that's going to happen in 5 years' time. And we're not here now, and we're not in our bodies. And in fact, we have a perpetual conflict due to trauma that we tend to run away from feeling and existing in our bodies. And yet, instead of being here and present in our reality in the now, we're running stories and never here now. And then ultimately, when we're not fully in the present, all that we do is repeat patterns. We tend to repeat unconscious patterns that don't particularly serve our wholeness or serve the expansion, right? If we're just repeating patterns, we're just creating deeper grooves, right, in the loop. And so this time that we're living in our integrity, coming to wholeness and expanding our awareness, is ultimately helping us to manifest more of our desired manifestations rather than the other. So rather than the unconscious. And yet we have to see the darkness. We have to be able to, so to become whole, we have to integrate our wholeness, which is integrating and harmonizing and owning our density and our darkness and our past and our future projection and our various multidimensional timeline creations and all of that kind of stuff to be here now. Because it's only ever, and this is like the juice of life, and it's like the Eckhart, but we are only ever in the here now manifesting. And the here now manifestation has everything to do with the alignment of the thought and the emotion and the deed. So how we align in the present moment, the thought, the emotional reality, and then the deed, or the way that we're moving through this reality, is always the creative potential, is always the creative expression. And yet it so easily passes us by because our minds are so active, right? And not only are they active, but we're attached to the story out there rather than being connected to the inner reality, which is way beyond the projected story that we're telling. Because the wholeness and expansion would tell us that every story that's ever been told is my inner reality. My wholeness is every story. My expansion is really in my ability to integrate the story, right? Integrate all of the negative, all of the corruption, all of the darkness, the deception, the lower frequency vibrations, right? Integrate those aspects of self in order to move up the vibrational ladder, as Abraham Hicks would talk about, and Teal Swan would say that's part of our aspect of completion. So the more fragmented aspects of ourself, or unconscious, or dark, or just lower vibrational frequencies that we can highlight in our own patterned lifestyles, we uproot them. We can root them out through the light of our awareness and shine light on of those densities, and then we integrate. We become more whole. Through that wholeness process, we expand our awareness. As we expand our awareness, we have greater capacity, or a greater pulling power to manifest. Now, it's the shift in your perception which allows you to understand manifestation in a radically different way from even when you first hook into some of the law of attraction teachings, because a whole bunch of your unconscious shit starts to fall away, right? And then you continue to rise or step into it's a knowing, and it's tangible. You're working with an awareness that's so subtle that you're literally like, it's like the Matrix. You're just like really pulling out of that reality. Like the world as it once was no longer exists in that way. There's no striving, seeking, competition, because there's such a profound knowing and recognition that you are the world. And we can actually integrate all the aspects of dark self that we think there are, all the aspects of separate entity that we think there are as well. Because you remember, because you can remember and access every part of your own creative field. So maybe you went to some massive galactic war, and that's part of your aspect of darkness and separation, right? That's how you can harmonize and forgive warmongers or people who are creating atrocity and violence on this planetary realm. It doesn't mean we feed it. It doesn't mean we have to give power to that energy field. I don't believe it's inherent in Earth necessarily, but that's my Earth, see? Even as I say it, I'm acutely aware that is my own creative vortex, right? Other people really might not buy into this idea of creating heaven on earth. Other people really might not buy into this idea of like, so, save the planet. For me, it's just been a huge shift, because taking the pressure off of this idea of saving the world or being some savior or being special or any of that whole, and that big coming off social has been part of that leap now. Suddenly it's like that whole chase is over now. It's like, oh, none of that is actually desired. We can step off that and step into this. Step into just honest, authentic expression. Rather than like, I'm trying to be special. I'm trying to be important. I'm an online entrepreneur. Which I am, in fairness, like, true that. And yet a huge part of this is just working with people who are ready to transform, knowing it's gritty, knowing that it's deep, knowing that you can't force people to do the work, that it has to be an intentional resonance, it has to be a guided resonance, but it does work, and having people to work with along the way is mega helpful. It definitely speeds up the process. So that's it, you guys. If you want to work with me, be in touch. Molly@altalove.com. You can also email teamlove@altalove.com, or visit altalove.com and fill out one of those contact forms and get in touch about. I have yearly packages, monthly subscription packages, tailored yoga coaching programs, and like the big one, which is like the full year one-to-one coaching program. Basically, if you're wanting to break free from stuff or pioneer a new career in various forms, I got your back, y'all. Boom! I got your back, but remember, it's not necessarily what it looks like, and it's going to be probably really challenging, but that's okay, because I love you. And it's working. My clients are really enjoying their new lives. So I want to share that and offer that with you guys. I love you loads. I look forward to, or join me in the tribe. Join me in the Fearless Life tribe. I know that some of you have just bought the book, and I'm very, very thankful. Some of you bought the audio, and I love hearing from different people in the world being like, I just got your book, or I'm listening to your voice right now, and I'm like, yay, yeah. It's very nice to know randomly that all of this stuff is slowly reaching into the collective, and people in various parts of the world are finding the Fearless Life Guide and breaking free, claiming their fearlessness to break free. Have a great day. Thank you so much for listening to me this morning. I hope it was entertaining, maybe even useful. I just don't know, but I love you and I appreciate you. And don't forget to subscribe. I put videos out like a lot, just a lot. And I'm going to switch it up. I just did a proper video, which I'm going to edit later today for the Fearless Life Tribe. And I'm really excited to kind of delve deeper into that online tribe, that coaching, coaching platform, and then just, making connections with you guys here. Love you loads. Have a great day. Bye. Look, bye. Peace out.